Salut putus! Today I'm offering some different material here. I'm talking about red washing, the accountability of climate mob. So everyone that ever watched a mob movie on the TV talking about the organized crime saw that they depend a lot on what they do on the accountant. So the accountability for the guys in the mob is really important, and that's because they manipulate the numbers. They fix the numbers in order to allow their scheme to prosper, right? So that is exactly what the climate mob does with the greenhouse gas inventories, with the accountability of greenhouse gases balances in countries. So when you see that a country is suddenly advancing on their greenhouse gas emissions, that there must be a reason, right? Or the country is developing its industry, or it's increasing its use of charcoal, or of coal, sorry. It is increasing its use of coal or fossil fuels. That would be the expected reason. But when you see a country claiming increase on greenhouse gas emissions from deforestation, especially a country that has a history of faking the deforestation numbers, then you must be aware, because if you were fixing the numbers in order to provide room for red and red plus credits, you are not only red washing your actions, you are also delaying the fight against global climate change. We understand that this is an urgent fight, and mixing with the numbers is not gonna help. So we in Brazil, I'm talking about Brazil. We verified the numbers back in 2020, and we checked that the accountability was done poorly, to say the least. And just from that minor adjustment, Brazil went from the 4th largest polluter in the planet to the 4th. So it was clearly a manipulation of the accountability of the balance of greenhouse gas emissions in our country. You must be aware of that. Grains, Brazil exports something like 300 million tons of grains every year. And this holds 450 million tons of CO2. Grains, 40% of them are carbon. So when you are producing grains, you are removing CO2 from the atmosphere. When you are producing meat, 1 ton of meat has 1 ton of CO2 within it. When you're producing meat, beef, it is coming from the consumption of green grass, which is CO2 from the atmosphere. And of course, the meat, 80%, 20% of the meat is carbon. Wood, 50% of the timber industrial products, of the timber products that you use at your home, they are made out of carbon. They hold CO2. So that's the reason why the world now understand that enhancing the use of land in private property to produce carbon-based products are the solution for the climate crisis. The more we increase this land use change, of course, there is a unnecessary destruction that can occur in fragile environments in order to do that. So if we start converting land in areas that will suffer desertification, that won't help. We need those lands to be productive. And this is the accountability trick, the accountability manipulation that some groups that are interested in promoting those fake red and red plus credits are doing. So they mix with the accountability and they call land use intensification as a land degradation. activity. So this is a mixing with the numbers. You just change the columns. Okay, this is not land use change, this is deforestation, and then I have emissions instead of having the increase on removals. But this won't help us to fight global climate change. In fact, it will delay our fight as we did in the past. You know, the promoters of this REDD and REDD+ scheme, they cause a major delay on the fight against climate change. That's why everything that we were supposed to be doing that will be reducing the effects didn't work, because it was based on fake numbers. So we should prevent this to happen again. We already know that we need to invest on increasing removals. Forget about the subject of deforestation. This is simple accountability manipulation.